Hi, dear friends. It's October. You know that. And what is October for us writers who are interested in NaNoWriMo? It's Preptobre. That's what we call it. Yeah. So what are we doing in Preptobre? What can you do? So if you're new here, you know, NaNoWriMo National Novel Writing Month is November. And in November, we commit to writing 50,000 words. And I did some videos about this topic. So it's about 1,667 words per day, what we should write to reach those 50,000. Of course, you are allowed to write more. So what do we do in Preptobre? Of course, we prepare for this whole thing. And this includes several steps. Step one is, if we want to commit to writing 50,000 words in a month, of course, we need some extra time. If you are writing on a regular basis, if you're writing every day, okay, then you know how to deal with that already. But if you're not, then you should now start thinking about how to plan this. So either you get up at 4:30, hey, yeah, and use the time you get with that, or you fit in that writing time during your daily lifetime. So wherever it fits in best. In my case, I have to admit, I get up earlier. Whenever I am in writing phases, I get up earlier and do the writing in the morning. That works best for me. And that changed within the years. So when I was in my early 20s, my best writing time was after midnight. I loved it, simply loved it. And even when I finished university and did all my studies and writing, that was at the end of my 20s, I still was that midnight girl, midnight type of person. But now it doesn't work anymore. So things like that can change, and you have to find out which time of the day suits you best. And then write it into your calendar. So if you have a virtual calendar, put it in there every day. It doesn't help. It has to be in there. Otherwise, we come up with, you know, doctor's appointment. Yeah, of course I can do that. No, you can't. That's your writing time. Or a family needs you. Of course, this is important. But if we don't fit it into our calendar, it's like, you know, it's getting smooth then. So for example, I have a real old-fashioned calendar. I like it very much. It looks like this. Virtual background again. Solid book. And I will write in that little book every day in the morning, NaNoWriMo. Then I know what I have to do. Okay. So as it's middle of October, right? So you have 2 more weeks to go. You have 2 more weeks to do the planning. And then, of course, it is allowed to plan your project as well. So not only when do I write, but also what do I write. You are allowed to do that in Preptobre. So do you have a title for your novel already? Do you have chapters? Do you know where it takes place? Do you have your main character? If you haven't, please use those 2 weeks which are left. Because if you don't prepare in this way, you start writing, okay, and then the whole thing starts to gallop. I can promise. Been there, did that. And of course, this mode is nice as well, this galloping mode. But maybe you want to have kind of a first draft at the end of November. And then you should have a structure. You don't have to structure the whole thing through, but like a main structure. Where does your novel take place? Have you been there? Do you need some more research on the places? Who's your main character? And do you know everything about him or her. The next level characters, so maybe you have two main characters and then the next level characters, they need a life too, otherwise they turn out to be flat. So what do you know about them? And then, of course, you want to know where the story starts and where you want it to end. It can be that your main character gets to life and does what they want, he or she wants, or they want, right? Then you can't help it anyways. But normally you want to know the outcome, right? I give you a small example. At the moment, I'm planning a romantic novel. So I have my two main characters, of course, the people who fall in love with each other, and I know they're friends. And I know the whole story takes place in England. Okay. Have I been there? Yes. Do I know how it looks like there where they meet each other? Yes, I do. I know how the sea smells there. I hear the birds. I know how the seaside looks like. I know about all those flowers in spring. I can describe it. And description is important to a special level. You shouldn't describe everything. Your reader wants to live their fantasy, but you have to support them, to give them a clue, because maybe they've never been there. So try out how these descriptions work for you, what you want to describe. I mean, for me, it's nature because I love nature. But maybe you are a city person and you do not want to describe nature, right? Then you wouldn't set your novel in plain nature and then they'll know what to write about it. So think of all that stuff. And then what helps a lot, and that's what I tell in all my courses, find a title that works for you. No matter how often you change it, no matter if you find a publisher and they will change it again, find a title that works for you. Because this is kind of the light, the bright sun you're looking at, the beacon which guides you through rough seas. And maybe you find names for your chapters. For example, today in the morning, I did some thinking about my structure of my romantic novel. And I came up with, I wanted to structure the chapters already and give names to the chapters. And then it came up to me that I want to work with music titles. For example, you remember Sweet Dreams, Eurythmics? That's one chapter. And the other one is Angel of the Morning. Maybe you know that one. So I am a music person. So these music titles, they help me a lot to get into the mood. And I love the idea of having chapters with music titles. For music persons, I think that this will be great to read because then they have that sound in their ears. They hear it. They maybe remember something which is connected to that song. So I want to make my way through with music titles and find these chapters. In my case, it's I still don't know if I want a happy ending. So for a romance novel, I should have a happy ending, right? On the other hand, my story is very fantastic and complicated, both. So I'm not sure if there can be a happy end. So I'm not sure if I find that out within the next 2 weeks, honestly. But maybe then I have to give this to my main character and let her decide how this novel will end. However, writing begins on November 1st. So we all meet up then. And what I want to do this NaNoWriMo is to post a video every day just to support you to carry on writing. I want to talk about how my writing went, or maybe you just watch me writing. Wouldn't that be fun? So be prepared. Use this Preptobre to get prepared. And then we see each other on November 1st, and we're gonna hit it. So I'm looking forward to your titles, your ideas. Put them down into the comments. I will answer. And maybe you want to discuss something, we can do that as well. See you there.